Looks smooth? Perfect. This month's Dvar Torah is titled, More Important Than Looking Smooth is to Be Smooth. Around 2 weeks ago on Shabbos, my son-in-law gave a Dvar Torah, and after hearing it, I said to myself, Self, this is a great message for the Bogre Yeshivat Shari Mevaseret. The Ramban in Parshas Naso points out that the Torah in painstaking detail repeats over and over and over and over again how each and every Nasi brought the same exact korban. The identical korban. For each Nasi, the Torah says, Karbana karas kesef echad, shloshim umeya mishkala. Why the repetition? The Torah should have just stated one time the korban. Inform us then that each Nasi brought that exact korban, that same korban. Why the repetition? The Torah leaves out so many halachos in order not to have an extra word, an extra letter. And here the Torah goes ahead and it repeats the same exact korban for each and every nasi that they brought. Crazy. What you talking about, Willis? Basing himself on a medrash, the Ramban goes ahead and suggests as follows. He says like this: indeed, each nasi brought the same karas kesef, brought the same mizrak echad kesef. However, to each and every one of them, to each and every one of these Nasiim, the Karas Kesef, the Mizrak Echad Kesef, every single thing that they brought were uniquely individualized. They indeed had unique korbanos. Each Nasi, as we will see, brought a different and distinct korban. How so? The Ramban, based on the Medrash, goes on to show us that Nachshon ben Aminadav, the Nasi of Yehuda, to him, the Karas Kesef and the Mizrak Echad Kesef corresponded to the two Malachim that emanated from Yeshivat, Shlomo HaMelech and the Melech HaMashiach. To Nesanel ben Suar, the Nasi of Yisachar, the Karas Kesef, and he shows this from Psukim. The Karas Kesef represented Torah. As we know, Yisachar represented Torah. While the Nasi of Zvulun, to him the Karas Kesef that filled up the bowl, that filled up with water, represented the sea, the seaport from where his livelihood came, in which he was able to go ahead and support the Torah endeavors of Yisachar. With solid proofs from Psukim, the Ramban shows us how the same exact items had special meaning to each and every Nasi. And though that special meaning was based on the unique characteristics of the Nasi and his Shevet, the Torah therefore repeated the same exact korban again and again, over and over, to emphasize to us that although these korbanos looked alike, smelt alike, tasted alike, what was being brought by each Nasi was really in actuality, karbanos that were very different from one another. This Ramban is a message extremely relevant to all of us as we embark on the next stage of our lives. Choosing a profession, getting married, starting a family, etc. Here at Mevaseret, as you see in the brochures, and I'm sure you hear all the time, we pride ourselves and stress the importance of individualized chinuch. A mode of chinuch that appreciates how everyone's mind does not necessarily work the same way. We recognize how every Talmud has different strengths and passions that will and should play a major role in the development of a mature Ben Torah. As parents in the not so distant future, you will hear from your kids what we as Rebbeim hear from our Talmidim. They will express to you, your little kids, and not so little kids, they'll express to you how the dress code in the yeshiva they attend annoys them, makes no sense. Many girls' schools have uniforms. You might send them to those schools. That all the girls in the schools have to wear the same uniform, same outfit, for many reasons. Some of them do it because they don't want one girl to dress, to one-up the other girl's dress. Maybe on Fridays in Rosh Chodesh they could each express their individuality with their own smooth threads and things like that. But overall, they have to look the same. Same type of haircuts. Their hair has to be in a certain way. Of course, we hear very rational complaints about this. Are we supposed to all be the same? Is that really what the Torah wants? That we be no different from one another? Is that really? Often to express their individuality, some young adults will go to extremes with crazy haircuts, weird dress, needles going through the eyebrows, etc. The desire for individuality, don't get me wrong, it's normal. It is part of the very nature of every person, implanted in all of us by Hashem. Chazal states that Hashem might have created one Adam Harishon, one coin, if you will. But what was special about Hashem's creation of Adam Harishon was that we were all his descendants are all not identical coins from the same mint. All his offspring, all Adam Harishon's offspring, are so different from one another that each could exclaim, Bishvili nivra ha'olam. However, the Ramban teaches us that uniqueness, individuality, and originality, that sounds good, need not express itself in external acts of independence. We need not look and behave much different than one another. At first glance, the Nesiim seem to be robotically bringing identical karbanos, as we said. We now know and realize how rich and nuanced and loaded each Nasi's karban actually was. We all bring the same esrog and lulav and daven the same Shmona Esrei. We all observe Shabbos. Here's the point, and it's worth repeating. We must recognize that doing the same things and acting the same way externally is itself what demands of us, shouting at us, Don't fool yourself. The real expression of your individuality should be internal, not external. The Gedolei Yisrael all look the same. They all daven 3 times a day. Learn day and night. Did chesed whatever they could. That is why so many of the Gedolim books probably all sound the same. Why can't we see really how different they were from one another? It is gufa because they never flaunted what made them special, what made them unique, what made them different. It was between them and Hashem, maybe between them and their wives and their families and their very close Talmidim. Often we hear the question, if externals don't matter, then why do all the so-and-sos and so-and-sos have to dress the same way and act the same way to be frum? That's a great question. And they, no doubt, these so-and-sos, no doubt, should ask that question of themselves. However, the question that we need to ask ourselves is possibly an even more profound one. If externals don't make a difference, they really don't make a difference, why is it so important then that we look and behave differently from one another? Are our different color shirts, smooth do's, that means haircuts, and even professions, are they mere externals pasted on to really very similar human beings? Or are our external behaviors, our external behaviors, truly a reflection of a deep, qualitatively different Tselem Elokim, enabling us to say, Bishvili Nivra Olam. Dream about it. Good Shabbos and Chodesh Tov.